Yeah, we're going to jump back into our character profiles because that's a nice, easy staple. And now, if everyone can cast their mind back, we were doing the Robins, Batman's Robins, the last time we were here. So this week is Tim Drake's turn to get his spotlight. So Tim Drake was the third Robin, and just like Dick Grayson became Nightwing and Jason Todd became Red Hood, Tim Drake became Red Robin. A lot of people, myself included, aren't a fan of the name Red Robin. It's just a bit meh. The suit's a bit meh, but Tim Drake's an interesting character. So there's a lot of stuff here I didn't know. Tim is probably one of my least researched Batfam characters. So it was actually quite nice to learn so much about him while I was putting this profile together. So Tim actually met Dick Grayson before either of them were Robin.
Interesting.
Tim met Dick on the night of Dick's parents' murder. So Tim's parents took him to the circus to see the Flying Graysons. But Tim was quite scared of all the dangerous tricks people were doing and stuff, and it was making him quite uptight about it because he was really young. But then Dick, to try and calm him down, took a picture with him because Dick has always been this super compassionate, caring guy. And he was in the front row when Dick's parents died. And he actually saw Batman consoling Dick Grayson as they were leaving after the tragedy. And because of that, he was kind of always in awe of the athleticism that he saw that night. And as a result of that, when Batman became a bigger part of Gotham, he was watching Batman quite closely. And then he saw in some video footage Robin do a quadruple backflip, which was the signature move of the Flying Graysons.
Really gave away his identity there, didn't he?
And he then found out, after doing some more research, by the way, he was the age of 9 at this point, so like very young. He then did some more research and found out that after Dick's parents had died, he had been adopted by Bruce Wayne. So he took all of the information he had of the Flying Grayson's signature move and Dick being adopted by Bruce Wayne and Batman consoling Dick on the night of his parents' murders. He deduced with pretty good accuracy that Batman and Robin were in fact Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. He was also one of the few people who noticed when Jason Todd took over the mantle. And then he managed to work out once again that Dick had become Nightwing, so he began monitoring Nightwing's activities as well, because he was just obsessed.
I was going to say, it sounds very obsessive.
Yes. And then after Jason died, Tim began to notice that Batman was becoming more violent and a bit more unhinged, and he was concerned about him because Batman was his hero.
Yeah.
And he kind of came to the conclusion that Batman needs a Robin to be an effective Batman. So he then hunted down Dick in Bloodhaven and explained the situation to him. He helped Dick solve a case that he was working on. And then he said, "You need to go back and help Bruce. He needs you. He needs Robin." So Dick goes back to Gotham to help, and Bruce and Dick get captured by Two-Face. Tim then, alongside Alfred, takes up one of Tim alongside Alfred, then takes up one of Dick's old Robin costumes and goes out and saves them by himself. but Bruce still wasn't sold on Tim. The tragedy of Jason was still very raw with him, and he wasn't willing to go down that path again.
Yeah.
But after much convincing from Alfred, Dick, and Tim, Bruce accepted to give Tim a chance on a very strict trial basis.
Mhm.
So then Tim spent the next 9 months in training with Alfred, and then Bruce, and then Dick, before he was allowed to even enter the field.
Okay.
Not long after he started patrolling with Bruce, Tim's parents got kidnapped. His mum died, and his dad was beaten into a coma and was put in a vegetative state.
Jeez.
Bruce then actually kind of cast Tim out because he was worried that that kind of psychological trauma would turn him into Jason,
Got you.
and that he wouldn't be able to control him and keep him safe anymore. But it actually had the opposite effect. It made Tim double down on being this morally upright person who is doing the right thing and not going too far and being very controlled with his emotions. Just kind of showing how different all the Robins are from each other. And then Tim, while trying to convince Bruce that he was still fit for the job, he ended up saving Batman and Vicky Vale from Scarecrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, again by himself. This
Chump.
is when Bruce finally gave him the title of Robin and gave him his own costume.
Okay.
So Tim had to work harder than any other Robin to even get his chance. But I think the difference with Tim is, so you have Dick, who is this master gymnast who has been doing it since he was 9 years old and is, like I said, all the good things about Bruce. And then you had Jason, who just had this anger and this will within him to not be stopped by anyone. Tim, again, is completely different from both of them. He is all intellect. He is the smartest Robin. His greatest weapon is his mind. He is an intellect, not right at the very beginning, but like by the time he's been Robin for a little while, as an intellectual, he's on par with Batman. If Batman needs a code broken or some detective work done that he can't do, he's consulting with Tim before anyone else. Tim is, again, like, if you could take Dick's physical ability and charisma, Tim's mind, and Jason's unwillingness to not succeed, you would have the most dangerous version of anyone you could imagine. And I do like that they managed to. I know in the early days of Jason, he was just a copy and paste of Dick before they gave him his own kind of identity. And I think they realised that the Robins being different actually allowed them to have more fun with Batman and the interactions between Batman and Robin, which is why I think they were so convinced that Tim needed to be different yet again. But again, as with all the other Robins, Tim has been a part of the Teen Titans. He, I believe, at one point did take up the mantle of Batman. During the Battle of the Cowl event, I want to say, but don't quote me on that. I might be getting stuff confused. It's the difficulty with characters like Batman. There's so much stuff there, you can get stuff easily mixed up. But while Tim is the Robin I would be least interested in seeing on the big screen, I think he could be a character that you'd have a lot of fun with as well. Because, like, at the age of 9, he worked out who Batman and Robin were. He's a code breaker. He decided that he was going to be Robin no matter what it took. And I think that's a special kind of mental fortitude that we haven't actually seen in that many characters.
Yeah, and it cinematically kind of plays very easily into like a script or a storyline.
But
Interesting.
yeah,
I knew
um,
pretty much nothing about this Robin, Tim
well,
Drake. So
I think just other than Tim being the Robin in the Arkham games, I don't think we've really seen him in any media. He might have been in a couple of animated films,
possibly,
but I don't think he's got like a lot of attention. He's quite like in the grand scheme of Batman, quite a new character still. And when comics transitioning into like live action and animated films and stuff like that took as long as it did, I think we're still like working on a lot of the backlog of Batman comics. And when they can't get anything really set up and they're having to reset every 10 years, they're not really giving anyone a chance to get to the third Robin.
yeah, you'd have to
And
kind of
with
skip everything.
yeah, and with Damian Wayne being the fourth Robin, I think if people were going to decide to skip Robins, they'd probably want to go with the father-son dynamic.
Mm.
So while Tim Drake's a very interesting character, I think he's got the worst chance of getting a live-action representation anytime soon.
You never know. Maybe some director will want to be really different to pick him.
Okay, I think this is a good time to jump